Hello everyone. Today we are going to do miscellaneous exercise 6a, namely those sums which are similar to the sums which we did in exercise 6.1. Yes, those sums which are equations of a line passing through either 1 point or 2 points. So let us begin with the exercise. The moment you hear miscellaneous exercise, don't get scared, because the more you practice, the better you become at the concept. So question number 1 and 2 was given to you as assignment previously. We start with question 3. Find the Cartesian equations of the line which passes through the point -2, 4, -5 and is parallel to the line x plus 2 upon 3 is equal to y minus 3 upon 5 is equal to z plus 5 upon 6. Now remember in general, the Cartesian equations of the line passing through the point x1, y1, z1 and having direction ratios, let me write it as dr, direction ratios a, b, c are given as this way. That is, you have learned this equation previously. They are given as x minus x1 upon a is equal to y minus y1 upon b is equal to z minus z1 upon c. Now, in this case, the point on the line. So here, A is a point on the line. So here, this is a point on the line. So here A, that is -2, 4, -5 is a point on the required line. So therefore, we can write this way, that is therefore x1, y1, z1 correspond to -2, 4 and -5. So one thing we have got actually. Now what about ABC? Now for the given line, they have given us a line. So the given line is x plus 2 upon 3, as you can see over here, x plus 2 upon 3 is equal to y minus 3 upon 5 is equal to z plus 5 upon 6. So therefore its direction ratios, yes, they are the denominators over here. Direction ratios are three, 5 and 6. Now the given line, the required line is parallel to the given line. Therefore, the required line being parallel to the given line also has the same direction ratios. 3, 5 and 6. So thus for the required line, we know what is x1, y1, z1 and also what is ABC. So therefore the equation of the required line, the Cartesian equations of the required line are this way, that is x minus -2, x minus -2 upon 3, which is equal to y minus 4 upon 5, because the line passes through -2, 4 and -5, which is equal to z minus -5 upon 6. Okay, then we can also modify this and write it this way, that is x plus 2 upon 3 is equal to y minus 4 upon 5 which is equal to z plus 5 upon 6. So this becomes our answer. Now we come to question number 4. Obtain the vector equation of the line x plus 5 upon 3 is equal to y plus 4 upon 5 is equal to z plus 5 upon 6. As you know, these are the Cartesian equations of the line. From this, we have to find the vector equation of the line. Now, in this case, comparing this with the standard Cartesian equations of the line, we get here the line passes through, or rather, this line passes through this point, that is A, which is minus 5 from these coordinates. We compare this to x minus x1. So we get x minus minus 5. So this is actually x minus minus 5. So the line passes through minus 5. Similarly, y minus minus 4 and z minus minus 5. This way we compare it. And so it passes through minus 5, minus 4, minus 5. And has direction ratios 3, 5 and 6. For the vector equation we require a bar and b bar. So therefore a bar is equal to, a bar becomes, from this we derive a bar, that is a bar becomes minus 5i, it's a position vector of point A. So minus 5i minus 4j minus 5k. And b bar is a vector which is parallel to the line. I have told you that the vector parallel to the line can be derived from the direction ratios of the line. So b bar becomes 3i plus 5j plus 6k. Keep this thoroughly in mind, students. Okay, because you'll be using it in many sums actually. So here, therefore the required equation which is r is equal to a plus lambda b, and that can be written as r is equal to minus 5i minus 4j minus 5k plus lambda into 3i plus 5j plus 6k. So this becomes our required equation. The question number 5 now. Find the vector equation of the line which passes through the origin and the point 5, minus 2 and 3. So understand that the line passes through 2 points. One point is the origin and the other point is given over here. And we are supposed to find the vector equation of this line. So the formula, the vector equation of a line passing through 2 points. Is given by r is equal to a plus lambda b minus a, where lambda is any scalar. So here, suppose we take the origin as a, let the origin be a, origin be o with position vector a bar, and which is 0i plus 0j plus 0k. And b be the other point, given point. Let b is equal to 5i minus 2j plus 3k. So we only have to apply this now in the given required equation that is it. So therefore we have r is equal to a, that is 0i plus 0j plus 0k plus lambda into 5i minus 2j plus 3k minus again 0i minus 0j minus 0k, because there is a minus sign, so minus 0k. So which just comes out as r is equal to lambda into 5i minus 2j plus 3k. So this becomes the required equation which we have to find out. Question number 6 and 7. I had given it to you as assignment in one of the previous lectures. If you find a problem in solving those sums, you can always ask me, message me through WhatsApp and ask me about it. Now we go to question number 8. Find the Cartesian equations of the lines passing through the point A112 and perpendicular to two vectors, that is B and C, whose values are given over here. Now the required line. So we start this way. The required line is perpendicular to vectors B and C, and therefore it is parallel to, now this theory we have learned earlier, it is parallel to B cross C. Now to how to find B cross C? Yes, we find it by the method of determinants. So here B cross C is equal to the mod of, yes, ijk, and we write the coefficients over here, so that this becomes second row becomes 1, 2, 1, and the third row becomes 3, 2, minus 1. Solving it, we are going to get minus 2 into I minus 1 minus 3 j and plus 2 minus 6 k, which turns out to be this way, that is minus 4i. Minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4, and minus into minus is plus, so plus 4j, and same way minus 4k. Okay, so B cross C is this, and B cross C is a vector which is parallel to the required line. Okay, so we write this way, since B cross C is a vector parallel to the given line, to the required line. The direction ratios of the required line. So its direction ratios are how to find the direction ratios of a line which is parallel to a given vector. Yes, we take the coefficients from here, and these are the direction ratios. So its direction ratios are minus 4, 4, minus 4. Now these can be any numbers which are proportional to these ratios. So we can simplify it and write it this way, that is minus 1, 1, minus 4. So these are the direction ratios of the required line. So also they have given us one more data over here. Also the required line passes through, say, point A, having the coordinates over here, having the coordinates 1, 1, 2. That means we already have x1, y1, z1. We are supposed to find the Cartesian equations of the line. So we have x1, y1, z1 and ABC. So therefore x1, y1, z1 are given as 1, 1, 2 and ABC is equal to minus 1, 1, minus 4. And therefore the required equation of the required line is x minus x1. That means x minus 1 upon A becomes minus 1 is equal to y minus 1 upon 1, which is equal to z minus, in this case it is not minus 4 but it is minus 1. Here also I made a mistake over here. When we divide everything by minus 4, it should be 1. Okay, so minus 1, 1 and minus 1. So this becomes again now z minus 2, the last one, z minus 2 upon minus 1. So this becomes the required Cartesian equation of the line that is there. Question number 9. which is very similar to question 8 can be done as assignment by. You can just compare it to question number 8 and find the answer by yourself. If any difficulty, you can always ask me. Question 10. Find the vector equation of the line which passes through the origin and intersects the line x minus 1 is equal to y minus 2 is equal to z minus 3 at right angles. Now let us visualize how these lines are. Okay, suppose this is the required line and this line is a line which passes through the origin. Say origin is over here, say O, which has the coordinates 0, 0, 0. It passes through the origin. Also, this line, the given required line, is perpendicular to another line. Say this is the particular line, say L1, and this is L2. So this L1 has the given equation that is there. They have given us the equation of L1 as x minus 1 is equal to y minus 2 is equal to z minus 3. And L1 and L2 intersect at right angles. So we are supposed to find the equation of L2. Now already we know one point on L2 which is the origin. Suppose we can find another point on L2. See this particular point of intersection, if we can find it out, then we can find the vector equation by using the equation of the line passing through 2 points. That particular formula we can use. So let us see how to find the other point on line L2. Now in this case, for the line, see the given line is the given line has equation. We can write that it has equation x minus 1 upon the denominator is 1. It is one and the same thing. Is equal to y minus 2 upon 1 is equal to z minus 3 upon 1. When we write it this way, it becomes little bit more familiar to us, isn't it? Now, so we write this equation as equal to lambda, and therefore, from the theory that we learned earlier, we know that any point on this line is given by, matlab has the coordinates x is equal to lambda plus 1. Okay, the coordinate of any point on this line is given by x is equal to lambda plus 1, y is equal to lambda plus 2, and z is equal to lambda plus 3. Okay, cross multiplying and simplifying each, we get these particular coordinates which are there. So therefore, so any point on the line is lambda plus 1, lambda plus 2, lambda plus 3. So these are the coordinates of those points which are there. So therefore we can say that the position vector of any point on the line, the position vector of any point on this line is in terms of ijk. We are going to write this. So from lambda plus 1, x is lambda plus 1. So we get lambda plus 1 I plus lambda plus 2 j plus lambda plus 3 k. So in this case, in this figure, L1 is our given line. So any point on L1 has this particular position vector. Now suppose L1 and L2. Okay, one more thing to write over here, the position vectors, I mean the direction ratios of L1. So the direction ratios of the given line L1 are, from here, what do you think are the direction ratios? Yes, they are the denominators 1, 1, 1. So the direction ratios of the given line are 1, 1 and 1. That way, and therefore a vector which is parallel to this line, therefore B bar is equal to, from 1, 1, 1 we get I plus j plus k is a vector parallel to this line. So thus in this figure, suppose we draw B bar here then you see that B bar is a vector which is parallel to L1. That means B bar is perpendicular to L2 also. Now, suppose L1 and L2 intersect at this particular point, say M. So, let the two lines intersect at point M. So, now as you can see in the figure, M is a point on L2, M is also a point on L1. Okay, M is a point on the required line as well as a given line. So, since it lies on the given line, the coordinates of M are given by this particular vector, that is lambda plus 1i plus lambda plus 2j plus lambda plus 3k. These are the position vectors. This is the position vector of M bar that is there. Okay, so we write that fact over here. So, since M lies on the given line, we say that M bar, the position vector of M bar is equal to lambda plus 1i plus lambda plus 2j plus lambda plus 3k. Also, we use the fact that the two lines are perpendicular. So, since the two lines are perpendicular, we have M bar plus B bar is equal to 0. The dot product of perpendicular vectors is 0. So, the position vector of M and the position vector of B, since both the lines are perpendicular to each other, we say that their dot product is 0. So, therefore, we write over here, therefore, we have M bar dot B bar is equal to 0. Okay, that means lambda plus 1i plus lambda plus 2j plus lambda plus 3k dot, the whole thing into dot, B bar as the coordinates I plus j plus k. Okay, so I plus j plus k is equal to 0, and that means after solving it, therefore we have lambda plus 1, you know how to solve a dot product, isn't it? Lambda plus 1, I dot I is 1, plus lambda plus 2 plus lambda plus 3 is equal to 0, and therefore we have 3 lambda plus 6 is equal to 0, and therefore lambda comes out as minus 2. Okay, lambda comes out as minus 2. That means, what are the coordinates of M, or M bar can be given as, so therefore here in this case, therefore here M bar can be given as, now M bar is lambda plus 1i. So lambda plus 1i plus lambda plus 2j plus lambda plus 3k, which comes out as minus 2 plus 1i plus minus 2 plus 2j plus minus 2 plus 3k. Solving it further, we get minus I, minus 2 plus 2 is 0, so the j term goes away. So minus I plus k. So these are the coordinates of M bar. So now on this line, see, we go back to the diagram, to the figure. On this particular line, we know two coordinates of the line. Is it? One is the origin 0, 0, 0. Suppose that is A bar, and M bar, which is whatever answer we got just now. That means now we can find the vector equation of the line. So therefore, the vector equation of the line, so therefore the vector equation of the line is of the form R is equal to A plus lambda B minus A. In this case, A we are taking as the origin and B we are taking as M. Okay, which is actually R is equal to 0 plus lambda M minus 0, which is R is equal to lambda M. Okay, so we can write it as lambda into minus I plus k. So this becomes the required equation of the line. The 11th question, find the value of lambda so that the lines 1 minus x upon 3 is equal to 7y minus 14 upon 2 lambda is equal to z minus 3 upon 2, and the other line 7 minus 7x upon 3 lambda is equal to y minus 5 upon 1 is equal to 6 minus z upon 5 are at right angles. Both the lines are at right angles. That is what is given to us. Okay. So for the first line, 1 minus x upon 3 is equal to 7y minus 14 upon 2 lambda is equal to z minus 3 upon 2. We will attempt to write this line in the standard form, that is x minus x1 upon a is equal to y minus y1 upon b is equal to z minus z1 upon 2. So for this purpose, we interchange over here the positions and also change the signs so that the first equation becomes x minus 1 upon minus 3, which is equal to the second equation. Now in the second equation, we take 7 common outside. So we get y minus 2 upon 2 lambda. The third equation remains as it is because it is in the standard form itself. Then going further, we get x minus 1 upon minus 3 is equal to y minus 2 upon, now we take 7 in the denominator. So we get 2 upon 7 lambda, which is equal to z minus 3 upon 2. So therefore, the direction ratios of the line of this particular line are A1, let us take them as A1, B1, C1 because we have to take the direction ratios of the other line also. So A1 is equal to minus 3, B1 is equal to 2 upon 7 lambda and C1 is equal to 2. So in this way we get the direction ratios of the first line. And for the other line, so the line, that is the other line which is given by, in this case it is 7 minus 7x upon 3 lambda. So 7 also this way, 7 minus 7x upon 3 lambda is equal to y minus 5 upon 1, which is equal to 6 minus z upon 5, can be written as, now going in the same way that we did for the first equation, we can write this way, that is 7, take 7 common and also change the positions of 7x and 7 so that we get x and also change the sign. So we get x minus 1 upon minus 3 lambda, which is equal to y minus 5 upon 1 as it is. And in this case, again, we change the position and change the sign also. So we get z minus 6 upon minus 5. Okay, and this can again be modified little further. So we get x minus 1 upon minus 3 upon 7 lambda, which is y minus 5 upon 1 is equal to z minus 6 upon minus 5. Now in this case, the direction ratios of this line are given as A1 is equal to minus 3 upon 7 lambda, B1, sorry, not A1, it is A2, and B2 because A1, B1 were already taken. So A2, B2 is equal to 1 and C2 is equal to minus 5. So thus we got the direction ratios of both the lines. Now the lines are perpendicular. The given lines are perpendicular. Remember, we have to find the value of lambda here. So the given lines are perpendicular, are at right angles. And you know that the direction ratios of lines which are perpendicular can be written this way, that is A1, A2 plus B1, B2 plus C1, C2, which comes out as 0. Okay, so now it becomes simpler to find lambda. So therefore, in the first case, the values of A1, B1 and C1 were minus 3. A1 and then A2 from here we get minus 3 upon 7 lambda plus B1 was 2 lambda upon 7 and B2 is 1 from here, and C1 was 2 and C2 is minus 5. So this comes out, the value of this comes out to be 0, and therefore we can write it as 9 upon 7 lambda plus 2 lambda upon 7, 9 lambda upon 7 plus 2 lambda upon 7 minus 10 is equal to 0, and then we get here the value which is 11 lambda upon 7 is equal to 10, and therefore lambda becomes 10 into 7 upon 11, which is 70 upon 11. So this becomes our answer for lambda. The 12th question, find the acute angle between the lines x minus 1 upon 1 is equal to y minus 2 upon minus 1 is equal to z minus 3 upon 2, and the other line x minus 1 upon 2 is equal to y minus 2 upon 1 is equal to z minus 3 upon 1. Now, in this case, let A and B, suppose we say let A and B be the vectors parallel to the lines respectively. Okay, parallel to the first line and the second line, L1 and L2 respectively. This means A bar is parallel to L1 and B bar is a vector which is parallel to L2. So therefore, when vectors are parallel to the given lines, you can find the position vectors. You can find these vectors, isn't it, by taking the direction ratios of the line. Okay, so A bar becomes I from 1 minus 1 and 2. We get A bar as I minus j plus 2k. And similarly, B bar we can get from these direction ratios 2, 1, 1. So we get B bar as 2i plus j plus k. Now the acute angle between two vectors or between two lines either, okay, between the lines is given by, it is the same acute angle which is there between the two vectors A bar and B bar. So the acute angle between the lines is given by cos theta is equal to A dot B upon mod A into mod B. This is the formula which we learned in our chapter 5. So in this case, we first find what is A dot B and also mod A and mod B, and then we can find the angle between the lines. So here A dot B, which is I minus j plus 2k dot 2i plus j plus k, and this is actually now writing the coefficients. We get 1 into 2 plus minus 1 into minus 1 into 1 rather plus 2 into 1, which comes out as 2 minus 1 plus 2, which is 3. So A dot B comes out as 3, and similarly we also find what is mod A and mod B. So mod A, I hope you remember the formula, it is root of 1 square plus minus 1 square plus 2 square, which is root of 6. Similarly, mod B, from these values we get 2 square plus 1 square plus 1 square, which is again root 6. So A bar and B bar, A bar dot B bar mod A mod B we already got. So thus we proceed to find cos theta. So therefore cos theta, from that we'll get theta. So cos theta is equal to 3 upon root 6 into root 6, which is 3 upon 6, which is 1 upon 2. And in the first quadrant, since it's an acute angle, theta lies in the first quadrant. In the first quadrant, cos theta is equal to half means theta is 60 degree. So therefore theta is equal to 60 degree. and this is the angle between the lines. Okay, so the acute angle between the lines is 60 degree. Now the 13th question. Find the acute angle between the lines x is equal to y, z is equal to 0 and x is equal to 0, z is equal to 0. Now understand this question properly. In this case, the first line, for the first line, the equation is x is equal to y and z is equal to 0. And this equation can be written as x upon 1, denominator 1 doesn't make a difference here. So x upon 1 is equal to y upon 1 and z is equal to 0. Okay, this is the equation of this first line. Therefore, its direction ratios are 1, 1, 0. Therefore, a vector parallel to the line, a vector which is parallel to this particular line, is given as a bar is equal to I plus j. From 1, 1, 0, we get I plus j plus 0 k. So we can just write it as I plus j. Then for the second line, in the case of the second line, the equations are x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, as you can see over here. So for the second line, x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. Oh, it is x is equal to 0 and z is equal to 0. That means it is nothing but the y-axis. Therefore, the second line is the y-axis. And therefore, its equations are, the direction ratio of the y-axis is 0, 1, 0. Okay, so therefore it's a y-axis. So its direction ratios are 0, 1, 0. Okay, try to understand the question. So that means a vector which is parallel to this line. A vector parallel to y-axis, that is to this line, is given by, is in this case it is given as b is equal to, b bar is equal to j, because I vector 0 and here also 0, k is also 0, so b bar is equal to j we get as the vector which is parallel to this line. Now the acute angle between a and b is the acute angle between the two lines. So therefore, for the two vectors, that is a bar and b bar, we have a dot b. Therefore, we have cos theta. If theta is the angle between the two lines, then cos theta is equal to a dot b upon mod a into mod b. So here what is a dot b? So therefore a dot b will be given as this way, that is I plus j dot g. Isn't it? Taking the position vectors of a and b, we have I plus j dot g, which comes out to be 1 into 0 plus 1 into 1 plus k is not there. So we write 0 into 0. So which is 1. So a dot b comes out as 1. Then what is mod a? Mod a, from this particular vector, we have root of 1 square plus 1 square, which is root 2. And similarly, mod b, which turns out to be root of 1 square, which is 1. Mod b is 1 actually. We need not have done that also. Okay, mod b is 1. So now that we got the values for mod a, mod b and a dot b, we can write cos theta is equal to a dot b. A dot b is 1, 1 upon root 2 into 1, which is 1 upon root 2. And in the first quadrant, cos theta is equal to 1 upon root 2 means theta is equal to 45 degree. So therefore, we get the angle between the lines as 45 degree. So this is how the 13th sum gets done. Now the 14th question is similar to the 13th one. And so you can do it as assignment. So question 14 is an assignment for you. So thus we have completed all the sums of miscellaneous exercise 6A dealing with sums which are similar to exercise 6.1. So in the next lecture, we'll go to the next concept of the lesson. So thank you so much for listening, students.